Hi, I'm Carl Pritchard, answering some questions about the PMP, PMI-RMP, and any other exam you might be taking related to project management. I am a certified PMP, PMI-RMP, and EVP, an earned value professional. That actually is important today because that's what we're going to be talking about, is a little bit of earned value and how you're going to face it on the exam. I got a specific question from Hannah, who was asking about a problem that they were having with one question on the exam, and it actually goes to the heart and soul of some of the questions that are out there when it comes to the PMP exam, and specifically it's the way in which those questions are framed. They don't actually ask you to do the math of earned value in many cases. Instead, what they ask you to interpret is what I like to call the language of the math. Now, here's Hannah's particular problem. Specifically, you've got this layout in terms of labor hours, labor dollars, and all of the various terms of earned value. By the way, PMI can use the old terms that are illustrated here, or they can use the newer terms, EV being the term for budgeted cost of work performed, or BCWP. They can use PV for BCWS, that's the budgeted cost of work scheduled, or the planned value, or they can use AC instead of actual cost of work performed. They can use a variety of different acronyms here, but in this scenario, as it lays out, the question is, what basically is causing the cost variance? And the answers include things like rework. Well, there's no evidence that there's rework being a problem here. Why do we know that? Because we've performed 1,000 hours worth of work. We've performed $100,000 worth of work. So it's probably not rework. We didn't do any extra work here. Schedule slippage. Well, the budgeted cost of the work performed and the budgeted cost of the work scheduled, the planned value and the earned value, are exactly the same. So there's no indicator that there's a schedule slippage here. Now, what's the other possibility that's causing problems for us here? Well, one of them is labor shortage. Is there a labor shortage here? Nope, no indicator of that. In fact, it looks like we've gotten all the labor we've needed. They just cost us more. Bing! And that's the big point here. It's probably a change in the rate of the labor that we had, because our labor hours are what we anticipated them to be. They're still the same, and yet our costs have gone up. So what we've probably seen here is an increase in the variance for the rate for the people who are doing the work. That's probably what caused the change here. Now, when it comes to the PMP and the PMI-RMP exam, as well as the EVP exam, a lot of the questions are interpretive in nature. You'll be expected to be able to interpret the information rather than necessarily just do the subtraction or the multiplication that's involved. So that's something that's important for you to get your arms around. It's actually understanding what the data is saying to you. Now, if you have any specific questions and want to pop them off to me in an email, I'd be happy to respond. My email address is carl@carlpritchard.com. carl@carlpritchard.com, and I'll be happy to get back to you or possibly raise your question here on YouTube. Now, if you have other questions as well about potential PMP prep courses, RMP prep courses, and the other voodoo that I do, I am a consultant and I'd love to hear from you. Anyhow, keep checking back for more answers to more questions. Make it a great day.